I had heard the stories all my life, whispered warnings passed down through generations, cautioning us about the Midnight Masquerade. The old ones said it was not a masquerade for the living, but a gathering of the spirits, ancestral beings and creatures that dwell in the dark places of the earth. No one who saw it came back the same. Some never came back at all. It was said to happen once every year, on the darkest night of the rainy season, when the moon refused to shine and the wind carried the scent of damp earth and forgotten graves. On that night, the spirits would dance in the sacred forest of my village in Nigeria, and the living were forbidden to watch. I didn't believe the stories. I thought they were just meant to scare children into obedience. But on that fateful night, curiosity got the best of me. I was young, foolish, and driven by the need to prove the elders wrong. My friends dared me to go into the forest. I laughed, pretending not to be afraid, and accepted their challenge. It was supposed to be a game, a test of bravery. But what I found was no game. The forest was unnaturally still as I walked deeper, the tall trees casting twisted shadows that looked like clawing hands. Every crack of a twig beneath my feet echoed louder than it should, and the air felt heavy, as though it carried the weight of something unseen watching me. Then, I heard it, the drumming. Soft at first, barely audible over the rustling leaves, but growing louder and more rhythmic as I approached the heart of the forest. My heart raced. The stories were true. The Midnight Masquerade was real. I crouched behind a tree, peering out into the clearing where the drums now pounded like a heartbeat. There they were, figures dressed in elaborate masks and costumes, their bodies moving in a dance that was both graceful and unnatural, as though the movements did not belong to them, but to something else controlling them. The masks, they were not the colorful and intricate designs I had seen during festivals. These were grotesque, twisted depictions of faces frozen in eternal agony. I should have turned back then, but my feet were glued to the spot, my eyes fixed on the dancers. Then one of the masqueraders stopped. Slowly its mask turned towards me, and I felt its eyes, or whatever lay behind the mask, lock onto mine. A wave of cold washed over me. My breath caught in my throat, and for a moment, the forest went deathly silent. Then, with deliberate slowness, the masquerader pointed at me. "Run." The word exploded in my mind like thunder, but my legs wouldn't obey. The masquerader let out a bone-chilling shriek, a sound that pierced through the night like a cry from the underworld. The other masqueraders turned in unison, their masked faces now all focused on me. I bolted. The trees blurred as I sprinted through the forest, branches slapping at my face and arms. Behind me, the drumming grew louder, faster, like the beating of war drums, chasing me down. I dared not look back, but I could feel them gaining on me, hear their feet pounding the earth in rhythm with the drums. Just as I reached the edge of the forest, I stumbled and fell. My hand landed on something cold and smooth. I looked down and gasped. It was a mask. One of theirs, abandoned, waiting. Before I could push myself up, I felt a presence loom over me. I didn't scream. I couldn't. My voice had abandoned me as I lay there, staring at the mask, hearing the rustling of the forest around me. Then a hand, cold as death, rested on my shoulder. The drumming stopped. The village found me the next morning, lying at the edge of the forest, clutching the mask. I couldn't speak for days. When I finally did, no one believed my story, but they didn't have to. They could see the truth in my eyes, the hollow, haunted look that would never leave me. I was marked, cursed by the spirits of the Midnight Masquerade. From that day forward, I was never the same. The village shunned me, afraid that the spirits followed in my shadow. Every year, when the dark night of the rainy season comes, I hear the drums again. And I know, deep in my bones, that one day, I won't be able to resist their call. And when that day comes, I will join them. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, and share for more historical story of Africa. See you same time next week. Bye.